Adrian Peterson's return to Minnesota turns into a Randy Moss tribute for Vikings. Adrian Peterson got the start for the New Orleans Saints in his return to Minnesota, but he found himself an afterthought in a matchup that quickly turned into a game-long tribute to another former Viking, Randy Moss. With Minnesota's defense stifling the New Orleans attack and Stefon Diggs doing his best Moss impersonation, the Vikings rolled to a 29-19 victory. Peterson, who holds the Vikings' career records in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns, was playing for another team for the first time after 10 seasons with the Vikings, and he was greeted with a loud mix of cheers and boos from his former fans. He managed a 9-yard run on his first carry, but finished the night with just 6 carries for 18 yards. He split carries with Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara, with none of the three backs finding any room to run against a Minnesota defense that looked playoff-ready. At multiple times during the game, Peterson looked visibly frustrated, at one point stalking angrily behind Coach Sean Payton on the sideline. While Peterson's return was a cause for some mixed emotions, the Vikings gave their fans something to cheer by inducting Moss into the team's Ring of Honor at halftime. Moss, who played for Minnesota in 8 of his 14 seasons, spoke emotionally about his connection to the team and its ownership, and he was honored even further by the play and attire of Diggs. Diggs, a third-year wide receiver out of Maryland, wore special cleats to honor Moss and was electric in the first half, scoring 2 touchdowns, the first of which he celebrated with homage to Moss's signature moves. Even Chris Carter, Moss's teammate and a Hall of Fame member, acknowledged the uncanny Moss impersonation. Diggs and Adam Thielen proved to be a nearly unstoppable combination for Minnesota, with Diggs finishing the game with 7 receptions for 93 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Thielen caught 9 passes for 157 yards. Their dominance had the understated Sam Bradford visibly celebrating on the field as he piled up 346 passing yards and 3 touchdowns, easily outdueling the Saints' Drew Brees, who had a late surge, to finish with 291 passing yards and 1 touchdown. Adding some insult to Peterson's ineffectiveness and frustration, the Vikings did not seem to miss him at all in the running game thanks to Dalvin Cook, a rookie drafted in the 2nd round, who carried the ball 22 times for 127 yards, seemingly answering any questions as to whether he was ready to be a starter in the NFL. "You can't say enough about him," Bradford said of Cook in an interview after the game. "I think we've all been impressed with him since he showed up."